actually wearing flip-flops right now.
I am only wearing tennis shoes. But, okay, Scott, tell us about the 7 things that no one ever tells you.
Okay, so in today's podcast, we're going to talk about 7 things that you wanted to know if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate at the Delaware beaches that you may not have known. That's it.
Yes.
Free educational time. And so we're just going to very quickly go through those 7 things and see where we land. It is a lovely day here in Lewes. This podcast is sponsored by Dailey Real Estate. We are at DaileyRE.com. That's DAILEY twice. And we are dedicated to all things of the Delaware beaches, real estate, lifestyle, you name it.
Yes.
Welcome to episode 3, the 7 things that you didn't know about real estate.
Okay.
So here we go. We're jumping right in.
Okay, so Delaware has a sales tax on real estate. People don't know that.
So famously, Delaware advertises as having no sales tax. And when you go and you buy something, as long as you're not buying a car or a house, that's generally true. But where it is not true is a house. There's a 4% transfer tax. That's how they get away with not calling it a sales tax. That it's from the transfer of your property from one owner to another that are not related. That triggers a 4% tax. So that's 4% on the total sales price. And people don't realize this, but that adds up quickly. That means on a $600,000 house that there is $24,000 in tax due.
And most of the time that's split, but...
Most of the time that is split. That's correct. So the buyer and seller are going to be paying about 2% each at closing. And the other thing is that there are certain exemptions to that for first-time home buyers. And there are other
There's some new construction.
And there's new construction, right? And what happens in new construction a lot of the time is the buyer pays all 4%.
Yep.
Which is
good to know.
A steep bill. So, yeah. So that's number 1. What's up next?
Okay, traffic is a mess in the summer, especially on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, so you have to keep an eye out. And, people have started recently really complaining about traffic and road overcrowding. And what's your take on that, honey? Where are you from?
I'm from California. So that's traffic. In my personal opinion, I was literally on the phone with my dad just recently, and we were talking about how awful it is when I go to visit him, and I'm sitting in traffic. This is at least moving traffic. So there's ways to get around. There's back roads. There's timing.
And the timing is everything, because a lot of times, like on a Saturday morning or on a Saturday afternoon, when you still have a lot of changeover happening. So the weekly rentals go Saturday to Saturday most of the time here at the beach. And so on a Saturday, you have everyone who is there, who's been there for a week. You have everyone who's coming for the next week. And the traffic gets a little nutty. The other kicker is what happens when it rains, honey.
Oh, okay. So when it rains, and we used to have an office in Rehoboth, and literally that first trickle would make
raindrops is what she means. The trickle of raindrops.
Everyone gets off the beach, and they're going to the outlets, they're going to the movies, they're going anywhere but on the beach, and they all are moving at the same time. So that is probably the worst traffic that you'll get.
Right. So everybody goes off the beach, and what do? They go out. Oh, we want to go to the outlets. We want to go to the movies. We want to go and do other indoor activities, and that's probably the worst, in my opinion, that Route 1 gets.
Yeah.
It's like you take like a Thursday afternoon in July and you drop a few thunderstorms on the beach, and all of a sudden the traffic is absolutely insane. But other than that, it's really not bad. We don't have much of a rush hour because a lot of folks are retired down here. Although it's more pronounced than it used to be. And obviously there are times when backups happen, but by and large, we just don't think there's a lot of traffic issues here. So that's our take.
No.
But man, if you go online, you would think that it was just 24/7 gridlock.
But it's not.
But it's not. What's next?
Okay, so we're going to talk about second home financing is more strict. That is definitely true. So if you're buying a second home.
So second homes are financed differently. It still can be a 30-year mortgage, and in still some cases be tax deductible, but it also depends on a slightly more stringent underwriting standard to buy that second home. And so some folks don't realize that, and that's important to take note. In a future episode, we're going to have a mortgage broker come on the podcast and break down a lot of financing stuff, and that will hopefully
We love him.
be a very educational episode. But in the meantime, just know that if you're looking at buying a second house, the financing is a little tougher than getting your primary residence.
But if you're dealing with Dailey, we will hook you up with a great financing person.
Right. We can take care of that for you.
And I would say 100% you need to get a financing person from Delaware if you're going to buy a house in Delaware.
Okay. What's next, honey?
Okay, short-term rentals can vary by community and municipalities.
You get that word? You want to do that one more time?
Municipalities.
Municipalities.
Thank you. Sorry about that one.
It's okay. Yeah, so a lot of folks now, seemingly after COVID, all of a sudden they want to maybe rent. They're going to buy a place at the beach, and they want to use it, but they maybe want it to be an income-producing asset when they're not using it. And so they're looking at VRBOs or Airbnbs or just doing it through by themselves where they're getting some kind of local short-term rental. Mm-hmm. And that's actually very popular. And you'd be surprised what people will rent, because as you get away from the beach and you get a little less expensive, you can get a nice place and maybe not have to deal with all the hubbub that is right around the ocean. And then have opportunities to go and see other towns and do other things because it's easy to get in and out with your car. So the backlash to that has started, and so you have to be careful about where you're looking, and that is certainly something that you want to come up with, that you want to speak early on. So it's one of the questions that if you're working with Dailey that we would ask you is, are you planning on renting this out? And if so, are you planning on renting it out for short term? Because we want to make sure that you're able to do it in a community. You want to make sure some municipalities have started restricting short-term rentals in the entire town limits, which is actually a pretty small percentage of Sussex County. But so there's different things you need to look through. A lot of the communities are allowing rentals, but they don't allow rentals like less than 30 days or something like that. So you can't really do the weekly rental thing because everyone has these nightmare stories in their heads about Airbnb, and maybe that's true. I don't know. So that's just something that if you're thinking about doing, that you want to ask up front, because it's not as easy to do. Delaware also has a lodging tax, which applies to those in most situations. And so you have to make sure that you're actually keeping up with that as well. There's a little extra paperwork involved.
Exactly. So things to know. Okay, so now we're going to talk about spring weather can be cold and wet. So the ocean lags.
The ocean lags. What's your favorite season around here, honey?
It's probably September.
Okay, and that's a great answer. Why is September the best month to live at the beach?
Because everyone has left and went home, and it is so nice and calm, and the weather's beautiful, and it just seems like the most peaceful time.
September. How's October?
I love October too. Those are my favorite months,
September.
to be honest.
Right. I think that's fair. I think that's it's the opinion of a lot of folks that live here full time. What's your take on March, honey?
March is a little bit colder depending on the day. I mean, honestly, our March was a little bit up and down, right? We went from 70 to 40 in a week.
And how's April usually?
April can be awesome. Just
right.
Depends on the year.
Sometimes, so what happens is this area is a microclimate that is impacted by the ocean water temperature. And so in the fall, the ocean water stays warm longer, so it sort of extends our fall season. And so when you talk about some of the best months at the beach being September and October, what you're getting warmer temperatures than surrounding states, surrounding areas. And you're getting that because the ocean is still cooling down from the summer. The opposite hits you in the spring. And in the spring, you get lower ocean temperatures and warmer air. And again, the ocean temperature kind of drags things out. I mean, gosh, Memorial Day temperatures were in the upper 50s, low 60s.
Yes.
Is all we get sometimes. And so March, April, and May can be very, as Deniene described, hit or miss, where you can have these wonderful days. You can also have these dreary 47-degree, cold, damp days that the air feels like it's 27. It's a little mess. And that's just a part of the ocean. There's not much that you can do about it, but it does make the falls absolutely splendid, and the springs kind of lame. Not going to lie, kind of lame. What's next, honey?
Okay, dining and entertainment is year-round now. And I will say, because I've been here for 25 years, coming this January, I'll be 25. And when I first came here, they did not have a Starbucks. And now.
How did you ever survive without a Starbucks?
Sorry, I'm from California. I was a little snobby, not going to lie. But I found a place. And then this area has just continuously just boomed. And we've got the most amazing restaurants. And the best thing about this area is we do not have massive chain restaurants.
So what do you mean? Why don't you expand on that?
Okay, so like our Friday's closed. Our Applebee's closed. Yeah. So we have these really quaint restaurants all over the place, and they're just awesome. And I can talk to you all about it. Or hit me up on Deniene's Favorite Picks, and I'll tell you about each restaurant and why I like it.
Right. So even we've covered that in previous episodes about some of the dining opportunities, and very few of what we're talking about are chains. They're usually locally owned and operated restaurants. And actually, they even call it the Culinary Coast, the Delaware Culinary Coast, because the dining is so good here that it's as good or better than even some big towns. And so what's another upside to being here year-round with all these good restaurants, honey? What can you get in the off-season?
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. There's a whole list that you can get off-season prices, and it's kind of amazing. So they'll like have burger night at one place, or maybe taco night at another place. I know Arenas does half-price sandwich night. So there's a list, and it's literally called The List.
And there's deals.
Yes. And it's only in the off-season.
Only in the off-season, which usually now is really like October through April. Mm-hmm. And there are you can eat very well in the off-season. And it used to be that these places closed, and they don't really close.
They don't close
anymore. Or maybe they're open 7 days a week in the summer and 5 days a week in the off-season.
Yep. They're at least open from probably Thursday to Monday.
Right. Very, very much so on the weekends, because people still come down here every weekend, even if it's in the wintertime, because now there's stuff to do. And there's also indoor stuff for the kids to do, which we're going to talk about in future episodes as well.
Super excited.
So, when she mentions these chains, is what she's really saying is that I think when you come here, you want to come here and experience something that's unique to the area. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you drive down for a couple hours to the beach, and you're ended up at TGI Fridays, and there's nothing wrong with TGI Fridays. It's like I can get that where I'm from.
Anywhere.
Right. If I want to have something unique, and we have steakhouses, we have seafood places, we have Italian restaurants, Indian cuisine, Thai cuisine.
You name it.
A lot of different specialties, and a lot of sort of what I would call American fare, which is sort of a steak and seafood type of menu with some pastas at a lot of different restaurants. And you can eat incredibly well. I used to be able to say it was a lot cheaper than city restaurants, but it's really not anymore. The prices have really caught up. So it's not an inexpensive dining experience, but at least it's a really good dining experience.
And probably the best subs that,
Yeah, the advantage is there's enough Philadelphia influence here that you can get good cheesesteaks, which is not always possible in other places.
We had one last night, and it was
phenomenal.
Kind of to die for.
Chicken cheesesteak with some sauteed onions.
I mean,
that's just, if I was in Philly, I'd say we had a chicken cheesesteak with and provolone, not cheese whiz.
Yes.
So that would be the proper ordering. I guess you can't get a chicken cheesesteak. Maybe in Philly they think that's cheating, but I liked it.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. Okay, what else?
So the last thing that we're going to talk about is small town Delaware loves a good parade. Yes, they do.
So, honey, let me ask you a question. What is the biggest single day of people coming into Rehoboth Beach?
It is Halloween.
Halloween. Well, it's not actually the day of Halloween,
No.
but it's the weekend before Halloween.
So they put on the most amazing parade I've ever seen. Macy's Day.
It's got nothing on us.
On it.
Nothing.
No. We
Nothing.
got the coolest parade on earth. What's it called?
The Sea Witch Parade.
There you go.
They have a giant inflatable green-headed witch that they run in front of it, and it is a parade that has gotten so big and so serious that they've had to pass parking ordinances because people would go down and leave a car like a week before the Sea Witch Festival and just leave it there. So they have this primo tailgate spot on the path of the parade. They'd have people that would literally leave their beach chairs the night before, just leave them on the sidewalk so they could get good seats. There's a lot of flying candy going in both directions.
Yes.
Candy going
We've
into
been
the
in
parade.
the parade.
And anyone can be in the parade.
Yes.
The fun part is to get in the parade, you just line up, and then you're in the parade.
If you have a costume, it's much cooler.
It's much cooler to go in costume.
Yes.
And then it is just a hugely social, fun event. And that outdraws the 4th of July in Rehoboth Beach.
And
that
people come like from Pennsylvania, Virginia, like to be in this parade.
it's a big deal.
It is kind of the coolest thing. I remember one year, a whole family dressed up as Kiss. They were on a platform and they sang the entire way through the parade.
How about that?
I mean,
Rock on.
Hey,
And some of the
it's not
floats,
low key here.
some of the floats are pretty intricate. A lot of them aren't. And then that evening, you can go trick-or-treating in downtown Rehoboth to the local businesses.
Yes.
And so Halloween weekend, which is here is the weekend before Halloween, wherever Halloween falls,
Yes.
is a mob scene in a good way here.
Yeah, and it's buy local, love our neighbors.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing about the Sea Witch Festival is at its core, it's a Halloween parade for the city of Rehoboth Beach. That's how it started. And the interesting thing is that lots of these little towns have wonderful parades for Halloween,
Oh,
for
gosh.
Christmas,
Yeah,
for 4th of July.
Millsboro, Milford,
Milford.
Milton,
Yeah, they
all
all
have amazing
have.
parades.
Lewes has its own slate of parades.
And the Doodah Parade.
The Doodah
is super
Parade in
adorable
Lewes.
in Lewes for the 4th of July.
There are just a lot
The
of
Shriners are out there.
yeah. They have these little go-karts. I think they're the Shriners.
Yes, so cute. These 70-year-old men in these little go-karts. It's adorable.
Zipping around
I
like
mean,
crazy.
how can you not love that?
Right. Lots of fun things. Even Lewes will do a parade of boats the 4th of July, and they will do one in the spring called the Blessing of the Fleet, which is just, it's a boat parade. You want to be in it, you get on your boat and you go.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. And
So if you want to be involved in an area and you're moving here, there's so many ways to
so
get
much to
involved.
think. So that's it. Is that our 7?
That's our 7.
That are 7 things maybe you didn't know about the Delaware beaches that now you know. Hopefully that was a good, quick, educational thing. If you have any follow-up questions or anything like that, follow us in the Dailey Duo podcast on Instagram and slide into our DMs there, and we'd be happy to get you information, or you just want to leave a comment. That's great.
Or something you maybe want to hear about.
Right. Any topics,
More
just
than willing to learn and share with you because we've been here forever.
feel free to reach out. But until then, I'm Scott Dailey.
And I'm Deniene Dailey.
And this has been the Dailey Duo podcast.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.